FuzzJockRadio.
You know what though, G? That goes all the way back for every single time we let you work. Throughout training camp, every week in practice, teammates are always around you. They watch you hit those things in practice over and over, week after week. For that moment right there, game ball, Greg Joseph.
Welcome. We're here. We are live. Can you hear me? Yes. Hello. Welcome. Oh, yeah. We got many guests. We got many hosts. We got many hests and ghosts and lots of hests, right? That's what we're calling.
Audience members, too, tonight.
Audience members as well. Thank you. Give yourself some applause. So, yeah, we are.
Who are we?
We are FuzzJockRadio.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Fuzzy. Mm-hmm. We have a Hest all the way to my left in Mankato.
I'm J-Mez.
We have a Hest all the way out in California, and their name is
E-Dubs.
We have a Hest all the way in Kansas City, and their name is Scott. And
Welcome, Scott.
we are FuzzJockRadio.
Thank you.
A sports podcast that goes live on Fuzz Talk Radio at 10:30 p.m., which is right now, right?
Here we are.
So if you're live and listening, oh boy, you're in for a treat. If you are listening to the download the next day, we aren't currently live. We are just pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So actually, you're in for a treat too. Man, I am nervous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Are you guys nervous, or is it just my 10:30 p.m. coffee?
I got an idea.
What?
You guys, we just went through the holidays, and there's some other things going on in the world sometimes, and sometimes it's tough. We just had a really bad blizzard and like Arctic freeze up here.
True.
Along with the holidays, and I just want to like get a good sigh out of it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say shake it out. Okay. That's. Oh, I was turning up your headphones, not mine.
Yeah.
That's what the problem was. I'm glad that we did the sigh so I could figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, and that's a good thing. Like just to put that out there right away, it is a great thing to take a moment to give a good sigh sometimes. Yeah. Right? One more?
Yes. One more.
Yeah.
There we go. So, listeners, FuzzJockers, you have you probably noticed that I said that I introduced another Hest.
Yeah, we got 4 of us.
And that other Hest is my cousin, also known as wow. I had this bit this whole entire time that like we've been talking about having you on for maybe like the last 5-6 episodes, or maybe the beginning of this season, which is we're in episode 14. We've been talking about you, and we've been kept on putting a pin in it, putting a pin in the topic, and then we're gonna wait until we actually talk to you. And the entire time I was saying that you were my mother's sister's son.
Yes.
Not my cousin, my mother's sister's son. And now I just gave up the bit.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So you might as well
Both are true.
Might as well tune out now. The episode's not going to be that great anymore, guys. Pack it up. No. This is exciting. This is why I'm so nervous, FuzzJockers, because Scott is the pickleball extraordinaire.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this day.
I like that name.
You like that name? Will you take that? Because
I just on the spot here. The People's Pickleballer.
The People's Pickleballer.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I like that.
That goes along with so much stuff. The People's
It seems more
Pickleball.
accessible, right?
Yeah. And that's what
I love it.
STPP.
I gotta say, I'm loving your responses. You are my mother's sister's son, and
Yep.
it's great.
And you are the same to me.
Yes, yeah, we are the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just the 10:30 p.m. coffee. It's because of all the stuff that we talked about. We did the couple size. So let's get into how was your week, James? Do you want to take it first or C-Dubs? How was your week?
I can
since the
go
last time
here.
we talked to you?
No, like us, there's been some stress and bad weather and holidays. So a lot of stuff working me up. But the cool thing is that I was able to get a awesome gift for my son for Christmas, and I got him an electronic drum kit, and he's gonna be drumming away and making them beats, and yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
I was really
Good
nervous
quality
about
electronic one.
I was really nervous about it because it was through social media marketplace where sometimes some people aren't real. And I was thinking I was going to get ghosted for like the last 2 weeks, and I got it today, and it's real, and it's ours now.
That's great.
son's.
And then
Fabulous.
you guys can become a band at some point. C-Dubs, how was your week? What do you got going on? What's the haps?
I did the holiday thing. Went to my wife's parents' house. We did a lot of family stuff. We we spent a lot of time together from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And I will say my social stamina is not as high as it used to be.
Social
I
stamina.
definitely wore out from constantly running at someone else's pace.
Yeah,
my.
that's.
But it was fun. I did love being with them. It was really great.
Sure,
It's just
I've never heard
lot.
of the term social stamina before. It sounds like a thing. Is that?
I think it is.
Oh.
It makes me think of just like extrovertness, and just like an energy used for being extrovert and being with people, and if you're more on the other end of that with the introvertness, then that's a resource you're consuming.
Could be.
Yep.
Scott,
I would agree with that.
Scott, since you haven't been here yet, how's your life been?
It's been good. Well, last week, it's been Christmas, so I've got 4 kids from ages 6 up to 11. So it's an exciting time there. So that's fun,
11.
opening presents and everything. But it's mixed with also the stress of the mom, the wife does some hosting. And so that gets a little stressful, when company is coming.
Oh yeah.
You've got to clean up the house. And
You gotta make sure things are pristine.
Clean up. your act.
there's actually a great skit. I don't know this comedian's name, but he's got a skit on YouTube called "Company is Coming," and this super skinny comedian dresses up like a suburban mom, and acts out all their fears and anxieties. And a couple of my favorite lines are, "Fluff the pillows, you losers," and "If you haven't made your bed already, it's too late. Throw it away." But yeah, if you have a chance, pull that up.
Yeah.
Company is coming.
You'll have to.
So yeah, we had mixed emotions.
That's
You'll
great.
have to send me a link to that. That sounds great.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, it was good. Good week.
Good.
Nice.
Fuzzy, how was yours?
Oh, my week?
How was it?
Well,
You do stuff?
let me think.
Go ahead.
Just like, I was gonna say, just like my grandmother.
Yeah.
If I say my grandmother, that will also include Scott's grandmother, because since he is my mother's sister's son, he's also the grandson of my grandmother, which I am the grandson as well of my grandmother.
Same.
Right? And I was going to say like my grandmother, but I have to include Scott now as part of that too, as our grandmother would say.
You get to include Scott.
How was my week? Yeah.
Are you ready for some football?
The Vikings won 27-24 on Saturday. They had a Saturday game.
Booyah.
Saturday whiteout.
This is the second Saturday game in 2 weeks. Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's weird.
Yeah. They especially getting our team on 2 Saturdays in a row, because they do the 2 Saturdays only on the holidays, but to actually have like the Vikings play both of them in, I guess what you could say, not prime time, but only game on television. Kind of a big deal.
Well, it doesn't matter because they won.
The stars are aligning.
They're trying to trick. I know the conspiracy. I mean, we're not a conspiracy podcast, but I know that the conspiracy that the NFL is trying to put on the Vikings is that they're trying to trip them up by putting them on Saturday afternoon games, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're gonna lose, and no, they won so well this last game that it came down to like we're all like it was tied up. We thought that it was going to go into overtime, and they're like, oh, we got 61-yard field goal attempt to try here. You know, like why not just try it at the end of regulation?
That's got to choke up a lot of Vikings fans, man.
Yeah, you know, because of that season that you don't talk about.
They don't feel good about that coming down to the kick.
Well, 61-yard field goal was a record-breaking kick this Saturday. He got it. So the Vikings won 27-24, and
Curse is broken. That was it.
Curse is broken.
Curse is broken.
So that was it. We're going to the Super Bowl.
That's it. They did the kick, the good kick now instead of the bad kick. Curse broken.
Curse is broken.
Boom.
What do you think about that, Scott?
I mean, I'm glad for all you Vikings fans up there. I used to be a Vikings fan, but I've, since moving to Kansas City, it was easy to just leave all that childhood hurt behind me from the Vikings, especially the Dante Culpepper, Randall Cunningham years, when it just seemed so promising. And who was the kicker?
Gary Anderson.
Gary.
Remember
I moved on from them. I'm just all in on the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and the gang down here.
Yeah, I mean, that's an easy decision. If you moved out to Buffalo for the Bills, that might have been a little tougher because they also deal with a lot of heartbreak. But
yep. And that reminds me, I've been to a couple Chiefs games, and one of them was that 13-second comeback against the Bills. Last year. It was surreal. Everyone in the stadium after the Bills take the lead, everyone's like texting their friends, like this freaking sucks. And then everything goes silent. Boom, boom. They get the two passes, the field goal to tie it, and then overtime. It was insanity. So it's
awesome to be part of.
It's kind of fun, being a Chiefs fan.
Being on the other side of things.
Yeah, and I don't even have to worry about we might get beat in the playoffs, but the heartbreak that you go through as Vikings fans, I feel you.
Do we know if Kansas City did they get the playoff? Are they in the playoffs? Have they clinched yet?
They clinched playoffs. They are tied for record with Buffalo, but Buffalo's got the tiebreaker because they beat them. So Buffalo will have the home field advantage. Probably the number one seed.
They're 12-3 right now.
Yeah, they're Buffalo and Chiefs are one game behind what the Vikings record is.
And the Vikings are 12-3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, C-Dubs,
we could have a Chiefs Vikings Super Bowl. I mean, it's possible.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Ooh. You should buy me tickets with that new company that you started up.
Yeah.
C-Dubs, did you got something?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, you're talking about the heartbreak. You went to that exciting game. I went to a big heartbreak game. I was at the Blair Walsh missed field goal against the Seahawks in the playoffs, which was the coldest game in Vikings history because it was -23 wind chill.
Oh, that was
I was there for
TCF
3.5 hours while I watched them miss a field goal at the end of the game.
Wait, why was that outdoor? Were they?
That was with the outdoor. They were at the temporary Gophers Arena or stadium for the 2 seasons, and so that was kind of hard. Although I really enjoyed the game, it hurt a lot to see all those people leave with their heads down. Like it was painful,
like physically because of the cold too,
and the cold.
The
cold did not help.
Yeah.
But I did bundle up properly, so I actually was decent, but it was fucking cold.
How do you deal with the emotions? Do you just everyone go silent and just?
Well, it was about 50-50. Half the people went silent, and the other half were kicking the garbage cans over and throwing their Homer hankies away. So it was kind of it was loud, but distantly loud. So like you'd hear people yelling, but in an echo because no one else is talking. So it wasn't that loud, but it was also deafeningly loud, because of the echo. It was interesting. It was very weird. It was really weird.
That makes me think of Buffalo sharing something else with Minnesota, not just the heartbreak.
The snow?
But, yeah, some
They
of
got a
this
lot of
weather.
snow, don't they?
And I heard C-Dubs, do you got something about Buffalo and snow?
Yeah, so Scott and I were talking, or Scott brought it up earlier. The Buffalo Bills played in Chicago this week, and they had a big cold game for them there. But when they came back, there was a blizzard in Buffalo. And so when they came back to their cars, they were buried. Like,
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 feet of snow on top
Oh,
of the
jeez.
players' cars and trucks.
That sounds very Minnesota.
So did they win their game before they came back?
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
then
good.
at least they had the warmth of winning their game
Yeah.
to help them dig their cars out. But
One of them didn't dig his car out all the way and drove off with like 4 feet of snow on top of it.
Yeah, that's a meme.
yeah, I bet. What was this?
The snow?
The Nick thought.
Oh, I wanted to hear more about that. And that's something C-Dubs, I think, knew about
Yes.
too.
So just take it away.
We talked about this last season. Nickelodeon's starting to get in on the
Nick's.
NFL game.
Nickelodeon. So on the notes, I wrote C-Dubs Nick thought.
What
And
does
then
he
I'm
think
like,
of Nick?
Who
Is he Team Nick, or
And
is
what,
he-
what Nick are
Saint
we talking
Nick.
about?
Oh,
Oh
Saint
yeah,
Nick.
Saint Nick, because Christmas just happened, right?
Yeah,
No,
there's Nick missed.
the NFL has had Nickelodeon sponsorship. Is that what we call it?
Some sort of
A
partnership.
partnership with
They do a
Nickelodeon,
partnership and they air a game on Nickelodeon.
and trying to get those kids just like the military,
Get 'em
right?
young.
And
Get 'em young.
but what is part it's neat. They slime the players when they get touchdowns, and they have SpongeBob running across the field. Do you think
And this-
SpongeBob would be actually? Do you think he likes football? Or they like football? Do you know?
SpongeBob?
I don't know.
Football?
I'm going off track here. Let's not.
Well,
He likes it.
actually, maybe not SpongeBob, but someone else showed up at that game recently, right? Was it SpongeBob's friend?
So, yeah, they had the guy who voices Patrick
Oh,
did a
yeah.
live read the game or call the game with a matching graphic of Patrick talking with his face, like had the camera on his face and everything. So when he moved his mouth, Patrick moved his mouth.
Sure.
And he actually called the game and made jokes with the commentators and
Oh.
was part of an interview. And I have to say, they really pulled out the stops this time, because before it was just 3 hosts and a bunch of graphics. This had special guests.
They
and-
had characters actually host
yeah.
not
neat.
like animated characters. They got Patrick
like
in real
some-
life to call the game. It's kind of scary, but that's pretty neat that they figured it out how to
Yeah.
make sure that
I appreciate any time they
animations.
make the NFL not so serious. That's
Yeah.
why I like the Nickelodeon games.
get those kids.
That's fair.
Gotta get those kids interested, because I listen to my sister. She doesn't want them to play football.
I can believe
There's
that.
a lot of parents that
I
don't want
can-
kids
yeah.
to be playing football anymore because of the CTEs and stuff. But my nephew's playing hockey, so I don't know if there's any big difference in any of that. No shame to anybody. And then we wanted to talk about so
Some other Christmas games happening.
we were all just talking about how we've all just kind of had to take a breath, right?
Mm-hmm.
And breathe, because the holidays are great, but at the same time sometimes are very trying.
Intense.
It makes you exhausted. Football plays games during these holidays. Did they have a good time too? How was that for them? Did anybody watch the games?
I watched a little bit of each one, and I will say it was hard to, because none of the games mattered. So I could imagine it would kind of be shitty for the players to have to play a meaningless game on Christmas.
How do you mean that the games don't even matter? I don't they?
Almost
they have
every
to,
team that
they
played
have to
was in a
matter.
almost every team that played was eliminated from the playoffs already.
Oh no,
Oh, well, that doesn't work
So-
well.
they
know,
make them
that's
work
not
for
very
Christmas. Yeah, that's not fair.
Why would they do that to the players? They should at least, make it interesting for them. I mean, did they give them a bonus for working on Christmas?
I bet they don't get a bonus for working on Christmas.
They need holiday pay.
Yeah, they should talk to their union.
That's football, maybe.
Well,
Oh, did you have something else about football?
Justin Jefferson beat Randy Moss's record.
Yeah,
Forgot
we
to
didn't even
mention
talk about that. So Justin Jefferson broke Randy Moss's record.
You did it.
He did it.
Mhm.
Which one?
It was receiving yards, Vikings franchise
yep.
all-time receiving yards.
Oh, good. Good for him. And that was at
He's-
the last second too of that game. Like everything, just like how everybody says, just like basketball, you don't have to watch football until the last couple moments of the game.
Down to the wire.
So. I forgot we had a new hockey sounder. So, hockey, the Wild are 19, 22, and 2 with 40 points. We discussed what all that means in past podcasts. So if you forget what 40 points means, I remember.
I know it too.
But if you don't, make sure to listen to the past podcast. But they're up 40 points. How is that going then for them, Charles? Like, how's the Wild?
Well, from last time we reported on them, they've lost a few games. That means.
Yeah.
I've checked out this last week from hockey, but it's still not prevented me from knowing that they've lost some games, and also Kirill's been getting around town. So
Getting around.
they've got stuff going on. At
What's
least
that?
They're 4th in the Western Central Division.
that's not bad.
Western Central Division.
Does that make sense?
They got 40 points in the top team. Boston has 56 points. Wow. Yeah. Well, we still got a lot of season left, right? We can.
Yes.
We can do it. Kirill's been doing some extracurricular activities. This is we've been like we got the paparazzi out there.
No, he just told us because he's our buddy.
Oh,
He's like, hey guys, Krill texted us and was like, go to the Vikes game. You guys want to come? And we were busy, but it didn't stop him.
No.
He went and cheered on the Vikes. So yeah, Krill's a Vikes fan, helping the
You got
team.
to see an exciting game.
Yeah,
It's always
dude.
fun to see cross promotions of
Yeah, absolutely.
hockey and football. Like there were some of the football players went to the Justin Jefferson went to the Timberwolves game a couple weeks ago. It's good to see sports crossing paths and helping each other out with promotion, right?
Our teams should be cool with each other and help each other out and like each other.
It's just kind of like art and sports, they
sports.
should mix a little bit more.
Poetry in motion.
Anything on hockey that we wanted to discuss?
I believe we are pretty light on the hockey news this week.
FuzzJockRadio.
The NBA theme, here's an idea. It goes like this.
FuzzJockRadio.
The Wolves are 16-17, so just like their hockey brethren, they're right in the middle of the pack. They are just like we'll keep each other company, right?
Yeah.
It's been interesting to watch the Wolves lately because Karl Anthony Towns has been out with injury, and it sounds like he's going to be out for quite a while.
It's a bummer.
So that it gives a chance for Gobert to really show his skills and what happens when Cat is out, as Karl is one of our top players. Do you know the situation that's going on in Timberwolves land, Scott?
No, I didn't even know Gobert was on the Timberwolves.
Yeah, they got him this is his first season on the team.
So now they got two pretty stud big guys.
Yep, with D'Angelo Russell at point and their rookie phenom
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, and then Jaden McDaniels on the edge, who's a great player that's up and coming. Under the lead coach of Finch, I think it's a third year, and
Okay.
Glenn Taylor recently sold the Timberwolves to
Is it A-Rod?
to Anthony Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez, not Anthony. To A-Rod.
Wow, Glenn Taylor. How old is he now?
He's like grandma's age, like 86.
Down the block.
Glenn down the block.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're in the transition of the Timberwolves being sold to Alex Rodriguez.
What's his vision for the team?
They
Thought it would move them.
everybody's under the assumption that they're going to move him.
Really?
As
Okay.
the fans are anyway, because it's Minnesota. It's
We can't
Minnesota
expect
sports,
anything good.
and you can't really expect much. But
Did he get anyone else in that ownership group, like KG or anybody with a Minnesota tie?
No KG at this moment. There is somebody else that I don't remember what his name is. That is the lead in the whole thing. Like he has more money in than Alex Rodriguez does.
Was it Mark Cuban?
No.
No. He owns a team. I don't know. Never mind.
And then Garnett and Taylor do not get along at all. And Garnett when the Timberwolves went up on the market, or was known that it was on the market, they asked KG if he's going to... KG tried, and then he's just like, no, if Glenn's part of any of it, he's not going to be part of it. So there might be some, behind the scenes stuff that we don't know about, but you know how business works, and maybe he'll come in after Glenn's all the way out, or if maybe they have some back door dealings going on with Garnett, because it'd be great to see Garnett part of the Wolves, but
I'd love that.
right now, no.
Well, you mentioned earlier, it's good to have local sports supporting the other pro teams, and that made me think of down in Kansas City. Mahomes became part of the Kansas City Royals ownership group.
Oh, really?
A couple years ago. Yep.
Yep.
And him
When
and
he
his
signed
wife,
his contract.
Yeah. When he signed his big $500 million contract,
Nice.
he became owner with another. There's a comedian that owns a big part of the Royals. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but then Mahomes and his wife also bought the professional women's soccer team, so they own that here.
Oh man.
Wow. Well, that's really cool, because like with his contracts, I'm sure it meant that he's going to be staying there for quite a long time, right? And
And I'm trying to think in Minnesota, on the
Yeah.
sports scene in Minnesota, who could be a player like that?
KG.
Yeah.
Joe
Greenway,
Mauer.
maybe? Chad Greenway?
Joe Mauer didn't do anything.
Adam
Probably
Thielen.
not. Yeah, maybe.
Adam
there
Thielen
you
would be
go.
a perfect one, because he's Mankato, and then he's like he was all the way Minnesota, and has been there and will be there his entire career. And it'd be nice to see him do some extra stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Or, maybe use some of that money to... he'll be... I suppose Mahomes will be making more money. I'm not going to be sitting here telling people what to do with their money, but like I was going to say, like maybe he could have given that money to, people that needed it. But buying the Kansas City Royals will allow him to make even more money, to give him even more opportunity to, give back to the community, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it also helps Kansas City too, like the team, because they're not doing the best, and so to have some true ownership who might care and want to actually push for success and knows success, something the Twins don't have with their ownership. That probably helps too.
Rough.
Well,
Also,
yeah,
Rob Riggle's the comedian. Rob Riggle.
He's the one that. Okay.
Rob Riggle. Yeah.
Wriggle.
Back to basketball.
Basketball.
Oh, right.
Talking about Gobert being on the team. We got him in trades. We gave the other team quite a few picks, and it was really scary to get Gobert on the team because of all the picks that we gave the other team, stuff like that. But like he seems to be fitting in pretty well. And what's really cool is that it came out that he For a holiday gift for the employees of the Target Center and the employees of the Timberwolves, he gave everybody like a $50 gift certificate to something.
Tight. Like personally
He
from him.
personally signed
pocket.
Christmas cards for all the employees, and like who does that, right? Where's my phone? Oh, there it is.
My man call it.
Who does that, right? Like,
As someone who works in a stadium, you appreciate that type of shit.
For sure.
I'm looking up exactly what it was. I just thought that was really neat. That it's his first year. Maybe he's just trying to, get on everybody's good side. But
either way, he was doing a good thing.
More than 450 Target Center employees, ushers, concession workers, changeovers, etc., showed up to a nice little gift tonight, a signed card and $50 from Rudy Gobert, thanking them for the Wolves do. Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rudy.
That was nice.
Right?
And they're all nice of you.
The Nets did one over.
Yeah.
We have a nice Wiggins update because the Wiggins. So Anthony Wiggins. I'm starting to forget everybody's name. Andrew Wiggins, who was on the Timberwolves, Scott, for quite a while.
I remember that.
Right, and he seemed to be the best player in the world when we got him, but then ended up not being the best player in the world. And my conspiracy is that he just didn't want to be in Minnesota because he didn't like the cold and he wanted to play video games. So he went over to the Warriors, and was part of a really great team. Like the Warriors team had been really, really good, and he was part of that. And he was doing really, really well. And so we were like, we liked Andrew Wiggins' style and who he is, So we'll follow him. So we have Wiggins updates every once in a while. And James,
We're fans.
You got the Wiggins update for this week?
Yeah, maybe not the best news for Wiggins himself, but kind of cool news for the team they were playing. The Brooklyn Nets did history with 91 points in the first half.
The Nets got 91 points in the first half.
Yeah, dude.
And that's your... And that was your Wiggins update. So... Is that all we got for basketball, guys?
Yeah.
Poor Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah. That game might have finished the second half at some point. I mean, I got scored 91 points on in the first half. I'd just be like, all right, you win later.
Dude, yeah.
so I'm just going to assume that was it.
What did the score end up being?
I don't know.
Oh.
Classic.
Is that all we have for basketball?
Yeah.
Yes.
C-dubs. Oh. Is that all we have for basketball?
C-dubs?
Yeah.
A Dirk.
What am I forgetting?
Statue.
Statues?
Oh yeah, Dirk Nowitzki.
So
He's
that
got a fucking statue.
So
Sorry,
that
my
was
bad.
that was my we talked to, this is why we don't what do you call it?
We do a lot of things. And we don't do a lot of things.
We don't practice, like we don't like to, what do you call it?
We don't have this like super rehearsed.
Yeah. We don't like to
At
rehearse a
all.
whole lot, but when we do rehearse, we forget things.
Well, I never got the notes. So.
Oh, I didn't send you the notes either.
Dude, we do that a lot
Scott,
too.
did I send you the notes? I think I sent Scott the notes.
That reminds me. I have an NBA update.
Oh, you do?
Did you guys see that LeBron James bought a Major League Pickleball team?
I did not see that.
You didn't see that?
No.
I thought it
player.
was broader than just those pickleball junkies. They're called the New York Hustlers.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Actually, Kevin Durant bought a Major League Pickleball team.
What?
And yep, that was about 3 weeks ago. And then just this past week, Jeremy Lin announced he bought a Major League Pickleball team.
Who's Jeremy Lin?
Jeremy Lin was Lin Sanity. He was on the New York Knicks. I don't know, 5-6 years ago. He kind of had a breakout year.
Okay. So he.
Yep,
So
these-
the basketball players are into, the NBA players are into pickleball, is what you're saying.
Yep, I think during COVID they all kind of got hooked when they were in whatever campus in the bubble. Yep.
Did they create pickleball when they were in that bubble campus?
Did they what?
Did they create pickleball when they were in the bubble campus?
No.
Okay.
No, but it just kind of caught fire with them, I think.
Do you know who the creator is?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get to it.
What is his? What is? Okay, we'll get to that.
It because we still got a little bit of topics to talk about before we get to the pickleball.
Yes.
One of the things I do want to mention too is that if you enjoy what's going on with FuzzJockRadio or Fuzz Talk Radio, and you feel like you would like to support in a monetary way, one way you can do that is going to FuzzTalkShop.com and purchasing a T-shirt or a hoodie or a sticker or some type of merchandise. That money goes straight back into Fuzz Talk Radio. And FuzzTalkShop.com, FuzzJockShop.com, FuzzJockShop.com, or FuzzTalkShop.com.
That's excellent spelling.
Okay, is that all we have
it.
for basketball news, C-Dubs?
Yeah, the Nowitzki one's all I had.
What was the Dirk thing? I thought we just passed.
So he retired a few years ago, and I actually happened to be at the last game he played in LA. So he was playing the Clippers, and Doc, the coach of the team, actually stopped. He used a timeout, grabbed the microphone from the announcer, and made the entire stadium give him a round of applause to Dirk on his last visit to LA.
Wait a minute. The Lakers coach did this, or the Dorks?
No, the LA Clippers.
They were playing.
Coach.
They were playing
Dallas.
Okay, so the Clippers were playing Dallas.
Yes.
In Dallas or in LA?
In LA.
Okay, and then the Clippers coach, who
Yes.
Dirk was playing for, stopped.
No, again. The opposing team's coach used a timeout to make the stadium thank the opposing team's player for playing against them.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what happened.
So
it was awesome.
That's really awesome. But
anyway, he got a statue now.
So Dirk got a statue, and it's
Yeah.
and it's really special to C-Dubs because C-Dubs saw the last game, and at that last game, the opposing team's coach called a timeout to say, "Dirk, you're awesome."
That's an excellent display of sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was
like it.
really weird too
Love it.
because everyone was confused on what was going on because he just grabbed the microphone from the guy and all of a sudden just started talking. And so everyone's like, what's he doing?
Weird. Is he
And
gonna
then
make a
he was
announcement?
He just went on and on about how great Dirk was.
Oh,
and
that's
then he was
really
like,
sweet.
now everyone give him a round of applause. Get on your feet. And everyone rose and we all applauded and it was great. And he was
That's
really
cool.
touched. It was really cool.
And then now Dirk now Dirk is in the Hall of Fame, and now he has a statue. And when you get a statue, you're immortalized. Yeah, you're like
One more step to being a Power Ranger.
you have to be a statue before you're a Power Ranger.
Probably. That's where the powers come from.
Makes some sense.
I'm going to get my cat a statue. So,
Okay, so
she's a Power Ranger.
that's the last amount of basketball news. We're gonna go on to baseball.
Baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
Baseball actually is not fun again in Minnesota because it is winter out, and audience members, you don't play baseball in winter. Yeah, see, that's one of the bits that I talk about all the time. Sometimes it doesn't work out too well, but that worked out really well. So a couple weeks ago, we had no news on the Twins, but we had news because it was news, even though it was no news. But now we have.
Then there was some news.
There was some news, and then do we need?
But now is there news?
I don't know. Let me find the button.
What are
Good news, everyone.
good news?
Is that the good?
It's kind of good news.
Yeah.
I mean, is it though? I don't know.
Correa
Yeah, Correa
went to
is.
San Francisco.
He had an agreement to go there, and San Francisco seemed to balk based on some medical.
A physical.
A physical. Something
Right.
that came up in a physical, and it caused them to balk and request more time.
See if they want to actually purchase him from the Twins.
No,
Or trade for him.
to give him the
Whatever.
contract.
Yeah.
He was in free agency.
Oh, he was in free agency.
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then they like, well, we want some time because the
Yeah.
physical. There's something on the physical that came back, and we don't like it.
And not.
That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
And so the San Francisco Giants had delayed their announcement, I believe.
So then
And-
the Twins were like, "Ooh, we have a chance to pick him up, right?"
I mean, some of them.
So did we?
And no, because not maybe 48 hours later, all of a sudden there's the news like, hey, guess what? Here comes the Mets. And everyone's like, what?
The Mets came in.
The Mets swooped in And after getting a no response from the Giants, Correa's agent moved on to some other offers, and it appears that the New York Mets offered, the Giants offered $315 over 13 years.
Okay.
Now the Mets are, the Giants offered three something else, but the Mets I believe is like,
right, it was 12 years.
yeah, and the Mets have offered 315 over 12 or 11.
Yeah.
A year less or something.
Yeah.
The Mets offered about the same amount, but less years.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then did he take that?
Yeah, and then the Mets are like, hey, you just got to do a physical. It's fine.
Okay. So he does a physical for the Mets, and then
now the Mets are maybe they're having concerns about the physical.
what's up with this physical that's going on?
Dude,
with
everyone is
Correa?
really concerned about his health right now.
Are they sure it's not a thumbprint on the X-ray? They're checking that, or
No, and there's a lot of speculation, and who knows anything except for his doctors and him. But the Mets and Correa's agent at least have been sort of reporting that they're in to work it out.
Okay.
But
it's not a for sure thing yet.
it's not a signed agreement.
Interesting.
But the Mets owner has made some public statements which could legally make backing out of it tricky. Based on some rules.
Yeah.
So that was kind of why San Francisco paused before making their introduction announcement,
Yeah, because they don't want to be backed into a wall and just have to go through with a trade or a thing that they didn't want to for sure.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. We should make sure to keep an eye on that one.
The story has been nothing if not
Because I thought
dramatic.
I thought when the Mets came in, that was
Lots of
I thought the
twists.
Mets thing was a for sure thing, but we'll see.
I'm of the opinion that it will be.
Did we want to talk about Joey Gallo coming to the Twins? Did we talk about that yet?
Maybe a little.
So we just got Joey Gallo from the Dodgers, right? C-Dubs?
he played for the Dodgers last year. He's a free agent this year.
Yes.
Okay, so we didn't trade for him. We just picked him off the free agent wire. How did he do for the Dodgers? If the Dodgers didn't pick him back up,
He wasn't very good for the Dodgers. It's probably his worst year he ever had.
I remember I said last week that this was. I think I said this last week that Gallo seems to be a player that hits for power.
Yep.
Yes.
Is that a good thing to do in this year's of the 22-23 season of baseball? Is to be a power hitter anymore? Is a power hitter a thing anymore in baseball?
Yeah, he had Nelson Cruz's and stuff, but
is he a Nelson Cruz?
no.
Okay.
He strikes out a lot, but he also gets enough walks that people forgive him. But I still think he strikes out way too much.
You don't pick up a player for walks.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you do, but
No, we did talk about.
We did. We talked about it a little bit.
I remember now
I
that we
think
talked
C-Dubs
about.
called him the poor man's Cody Bellinger.
And we also said that acquiring him also puts Luis Ariz in more of a peril of staying a Twin as well.
Yeah, probably.
Because Luis can play any spot, but he's not the best defensive player. He is a great hitter, but he's not the best defensive player.
And that is something that is a positive with Gallo.
Yeah.
He's good defensively for sure.
So that'll be interesting. I might be a little bit jaded about Gallo as well, because the one Twins game that I went to last year, there was a couple of Yankees fans at that. The Twins were playing the Rangers. No. Yeah. No.
It would have been
The
Yankees,
Twins were
right?
playing the Yankees, and there were a couple of Yankees fans in the stadium right in front of me, and right behind me there was a kid wearing a Gallo Texas Rangers jersey because he just came from Texas to the Yankees. And the Yankees fans were yelling at Gallo, being like, "You suck, man. We wish we never have traded you." And then the kid with the Texas Rangers jersey on was like, "Oh, I really like Gallo. That's the reason why I came to this game." And they're like, "Oh man, we're sorry for you for being a Gallo fan because he sucks." And then the New York Yankees fans were all being like New York Yankees fans and being mean.
Boo.
So that's now Gal's on the Twins. Like I foreshadowed it. Like I saw the future or something. Bart.
Oh, this might be something to put a pin in, actually, because I just there's this baseball player, Bartolo Colon, and I think he's with the Mets. Have you heard of that guy?
Yeah,
See
Big
does?
Sexy.
Oh, Big Sexy. That's what they call him. Yeah, I just saw a really cool highlight reel of him doing some. Well, yeah, I remember him hitting a home run, I believe, last year. But I saw a really good highlight reel of him doing like some great pitching defense plays over and over again, and just had me really interested in this guy. So I want to look into that probably more, and maybe just kind of say I think he's a cool guy. Maybe other people want to look at Bartolo Colon. That's all.
FuzzJockers, look that person up. How do you spell his name?
Bartolo Colon.
It's like Bart.
Yep, Bartolo.
Okay. So look him up. So for next week, we put up in it this week, and then next week the FuzzJockers will know who we're speaking of, and then we can explain some things that we want to talk about.
I think he's really probably interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Played for the Twins briefly.
Any more? Yeah, I thought he played for the Twins for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I know he's Big Sexy. He played in 2017.
Yeah. Anything else on the baseball docket?
I believe that is.
Oh, I got a baseball question for you guys.
Yeah, what's up?
So the Royals stadium is they're looking at moving it to a downtown stadium. It's just out kind of in a crappy suburb where there's a lot of space for parking right now. And the Twins kind of made that transition from the Dome to the new stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in the rearview mirror, was it a good decision for Minnesota? Would you recommend it for the Royals?
I'd say yes, because if you plan it right, it works out really well, at least like the parking thing. Because the Metrodome had a terrible parking situation. But they built a perfect parking complex that happens to work for all of downtown and the stadium next to it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention, is that the Twin Stadium being right downtown is right next to like the First Ave and all those and the Target Center as well. So the parking structures are able to facilitate all of downtown activities. And so they did it so well. And then it's so nice to just be able to like be walking downtown in this concrete jungle and then just walk up and you see this big open green baseball field.
It's pretty cool.
It's really neat. And yeah, the parking situation works really well because they planned it to encompass all of the entertainment that's around there. And that's basically when you park there, that's what you do.
I'd also like to say, if it's in downtown, I used to do this when I lived in downtown or near downtown in Minneapolis. You can just go buy the cheapest ticket and just walk on in and have dinner there. You don't have to even go for a whole. You can just walk. It's like, $10. You get the highest seat in the place. It's probably open. You just grab one of those. You go in. You get the specialized food they have at the new stadium. That type of thing. You have a good evening of it. You don't have to invest in going to a full game because you're just walking around downtown. You can just decide, like, hey, I'm going to go take a left and go eat at the baseball game and then go back to what else I was doing.
Wow.
Cool.
That really reminds me of a venue that we have in Mankato called the What's Up Lounge, where it's away from everything else. So going to a show at the What's Up Lounge is more of a destination and commitment than if it was in a venue that was downtown. It's like now it's entertainment, and it feels like it's a little bit more accessible and available because it's right there, and you're not just stuck there for the whole time if you don't want to be there. That makes sense?
All right, so it's a green light. Yeah, I like that. That's
okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and tell them.
I will.
Well, I mean, because out here in the Dodger Stadium's in a ravine, which is a great place for it because LA doesn't have a lot of space. So it works well that it's got its own gigantic amount of space for it. But it's also not really near where people live. Like most people have to, like it's near Echo Park and Silver Lake and downtown. But if you don't live in those areas, which most people live in the outside areas, you got to travel to go to every Dodger game. You got to book your, you got to make sure you got your parking spot or your bus ticket. You're going to the Union Depot to get to the bus, to get to the game, like you really got to plan it out because it's not easy to just go to it. You can't you go to the Staples Center or Crypto Arena, whatever you want to call it. You can just decide to go because you happen to be downtown and you just go, but Dodgers, you got to commit to going to a Dodger game, which people want to do here anyway. But
You guys ready to go to other sports?
I would love to.
Why can't we talk about other topics?
I keep forgetting this is the other topics button, not the other sports button, because I don't have another sports button yet. It's
They're all
other
the same
topics,
now.
but it seems like it's been kind of the same. So, should we just get right into it? We've been waiting this entire time. Like I said, or like we got the people's pickleball player, Scott. People's pickleball player, the Triple P Scott is here. Triple P.
People's pickleballer.
My mother's sister's son.
All of them.
My grandmother's grandson.
Yeah.
Scott.
Grandma Betty.
Yeah, Grandma Betty. Shout out. I did you know that I make Grandma Betty's banana bread?
Oh, no,
And
you have to mail me some of that.
The entire family has been like, holy cow. Because my family doesn't swear, but they're just like, holy cow, how are you like? My dad bakes a lot, and he's like I've tried to make Grandma Betty's banana bread. My sister's like, we've tried to make Grandma Betty's banana bread, and it's not like Grandma Betty's banana bread, and yours tastes exactly like Grandma Betty's banana bread, and it just makes me so happy to hear that. So
you inherited that. That's
yeah, I know how to bake like Grandma.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it makes me really happy. But pickleball, like we don't. Do you know anything about pickleball?
I very vaguely have some, not really.
C-Dubs, do you know anything about pickleball?
I know that know very little in the fact that I tried watching pickleball this weekend, and when I turned the channel to the pickleball, it was people skiing. So I have the first question I want to ask is pickleball skiing?
Is pickleball skiing, Scott?
It probably got bumped out of its network spot.
Okay,
for skiing.
okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So it wasn't pickleball.
can't blame him.
Okay, so
Then I
That
know
was not
nothing about
pickleball.
pickleball.
okay,
No,
Fuzzy,
no.
do you know anything about pickleball? I'll answer myself. No, but I do know that we just opened up a pickleball barn, whatever that is, in Mankato. Yeah. It takes up a lot of space. Like they took out a farm to put in a pickleball barn.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they couldn't just have a barn on the farm and still be able to produce some farm products, but they took over. They put a big parking lot in, and they got barns. Is that what their stadiums are called?
I saw that. Yes, actually, I've been following. They're called the Pickle Barn, and I think it's a couple that played tennis at Gustavus started this thing.
Okay,
Cool.
And I saw that on New Year's Eve they're doing a pickleball drop. Instead of a ball, just a ball drop.
Whoa.
They did the pickleball drop.
That's great.
This is just like someone's going to hold a pickleball and do the deed.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, maybe a paper mache.
Okay.
You're gonna need something bigger with some lights, hopefully.
So Scott, tell us, enlighten us. Enlighten us is a good word.
Oh, man.
I like that word.
We need
Enlighten us on what pickleball is.
My
It's not
favorite
skiing.
question
It's not
ever.
skiing.
What is?
We know that now.
It's not skiing. No, pickleball. What is pickleball? First off, is my favorite question ever, and it is a fusion of tennis, ping pong, and badminton. You're essentially, it's like playing tennis on a court that's a quarter the size of a tennis court. So it's a truncated court.
Okay.
Pickleball is almost all doubles. Like in tennis, it's primarily singles. In pickleball, it's doubles. It's a very social game. Part of it is you're just with 4 people in a much smaller space of a court, so it lends itself to that. But it's a game where you're hitting with a paddle that is it's like an oversized ping pong paddle, and now they're pretty high tech actually.
Oh.
And the price is going up.
Oh my!
On the top paddles. The top paddle now sells for $333.
Wow.
That's
That thing's
wild.
that's like a club basically for golf. Like it's
It is.
high end technology, right?
It's like carbon fiber, spin rates,
Oh, dude.
Wow.
hardness, thickness, all the
Wind direction.
yeah, yeah. So you play with an oversized, ping pong paddle essentially,
Okay.
and you are playing on a court that's quarter size of a tennis court, and you're playing with a wiffle ball. And so, what's unique about and fun about pickleball is that in tennis, you really have to have somebody that's matched up real close in skill level to you to make it enjoyable.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you got to be putting lots of reps on your serves and backhands and other strokes just to make the game flow, where you're not putting it in the net or hitting it out. So pickleball sort of eliminates some of the hard parts of tennis and some of the discouraging parts of tennis for just the masses, and it makes it easy. So your serve is underhand. You have to hit the ball under your waist. Your point of contact's got to be under the waist.
So no overhand serve.
No overhand serve. Nope.
Okay. So
So there's no aces. I mean, you can get an ace, but man, in 5 years I maybe have had 2. So there's not really any aces. Another one of the rules that make the game fun is that when you start a point, the serve has to bounce, just like in tennis, but then the returning team's return of serve has to bounce. And that just kind of slows the game down and kind of creates more of an even playing field.
So bounce and then hit?
Yep,
So
bounce. So they call it the
serve,
2 bounce rule.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yep,
And
that's
after
how
that,
you start every point.
That really reminds me of ping pong for sure.
Yes, a lot like ping pong.
does ping pong do a 2 bounce?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You have to let the ball hit before you hit it back from the serve. I believe. Yeah. We played a lot of ping pong when we were kids with my dad.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, and that's the other part. Ping pongers come to it, racquetballers, tennis players, badminton players. You get just a blend, and they all sort of bring different,
Skills.
spots where they're real skilled to the sport. Like
Sure,
the racquetballers are really good at hitting really hard shots, like in close to their body. The tennis players are good with some more of the spin and ground circling shots. So you get a good mix.
That's
and
cool.
man, for every I've done a bunch of youth pickleball coaching. I've coached about 500 kids over the last 3 years.
It's amazing.
Teach them how to play pickleball.
Truly the
And,
people's pickleballer. Absolutely, living up to the name.
And so with that, for every maybe one kid that you can get to play tennis, you can get 12, 15 kids to come play pickleball because it's so easy. They say it's
Is it because
easy
of it being
to
easier?
pick up but difficult to master.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got to go make
yeah.
yourself a reservation at the pickle barn.
At the
and go
barn,
play.
yeah.
No, we should.
We should check it out and like maybe bring a recorder of some sort and record our interactions for the FuzzJockers and be like, hey, we're on site at the pickle barn, and then we'll see how it works out.
Yeah,
Love it.
You could live interview some pickleball players. I mean, it's a very social sport. I have probably, aside from all the kids that I've coached, I have probably met, I don't know, 300 or 400 people and made probably 50 or 60 friends and acquaintances through pickleball.
That's
Wow,
cool.
that's amazing.
You hit up all the different venues and
to the point
and people
that
you always know somebody.
I heard that this was so social that you sent your family on vacation and hosted a pickleball player once.
Yeah. Yes, we actually just this last week, and this was through the kids thing. So a couple of years ago, we teamed up with a local restaurant here. So you've got the Pickle Barn, but Kansas City was sort of the first place to have this venue called Chicken and Pickle. They've got fried chicken and pickleball, and it's like a couple acre complex with like 14 courts. It's got huge bar with event room and dining room and everything. And through that, they do a bunch of community stuff. And so they helped me put on a celebrity pickleball match at my kids' elementary school. So I had like the principal teamed up with one of the local professional soccer stars down here versus the gym teacher and another player. And we did this event at the elementary school that the art teacher was the MC. We had about 200 kids in there, and they were going nuts as they played out the points. But this chicken and pickle place, as professional pickleball has grown, started sponsoring players. And they've got about 7 or 8 nationally sponsored players. And the
nice.
number 2 men's player in the world, named Tyson McGuffin, actually stayed at our house. His family came and stayed with us. Would have been 2 weeks ago now.
Cool.
For the week. Yep.
That's neat.
So
Yeah.
it was fun. Fun to see kind of the firsthand the growth of the sport is crazy because I met his agent when they were in town and they were, he's working on a deal with Skechers right now. Actually,
He's for real.
He's got a signature shoe is dropping in January. And he's probably got like 10 or 12 other smaller company endorsements.
That's fun.
And so they're kind of grinding it, but the money coming into the sport has grown a ton over the last few years.
See, I just have a question. You brought up earlier that the basketball players had purchased a bunch of pickleball franchises. So are there multiple major leagues, or is this all based in the one major league? Like how many larger leagues are there for pickleball? Because I know there's a televised league, but that's not that's comedians and stuff like that doing that one.
Like how many
So that's not
professional leagues?
Right. No, that's a great question. That has been at the forefront of pickleball in the last year because you had 2 big competing leagues. You've got this one called the PPA Tour, which runs like individuals. It's sort of like the PGA where they're playing individual events. And then the competing league was called Major League Pickleball. And they did these team events. And it was kind of a conundrum because the PPA had all the top players. Like you got basically the top 30 are locked into contracts there. But Major League Pickleball has this format, which is a team event that gets real rowdy and fun. It's kind of like the Ryder Cup is for golf, where golf can be kind of boring, but you do the team thing and it gets a new dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so they were starting to compete, and PPA made their own team event kind of thing. But within a week of them announcing the team event, the 2 entities merged. And now, about a year ago, billionaire, the guy that owns the Carolina Hurricanes, Tom Dundon, he came into the space. He bought the PPA Tour. He bought the biggest Pickleball Central, is the biggest pickleball retailer. That's where you go buy all your paddles and balls and nets and everything. So he comes in, this billionaire buys that, and then another billionaire named Steve Kuhn comes in and he buys Major League Pickleball, and they were all going to be at war for years, and they just merged within the last 2 months. And that is essentially when these guys started buying up teams within Major League Pickleball. So you had LeBron was the first big time guy to come out. So LeBron, Kevin Love, and Draymond Green are part of an ownership team that own one of the teams.
That's cool. Kevin Love.
Yep. And then about a week later, Durant announced that he was buying a team. And then a couple weeks after that, Tom Brady, Drew Brees owns a team. And actually, Patrick Mahomes just announced that he's buying a team with Rich Paul, who is LeBron's agent.
This is the cool thing to do for sports guys.
It's wild.
This is the
So as in pickleball is here to stay.
Dude,
This style of caliber of people are purchasing pickleballs, this got to stay. It's got to be.
I definitely appreciate that more than NFTs or something,
100%. I like that more than NFTs.
And I just want to clarify that I am an adult and never once thought hearing PPA is funny at all. Because I'm way too mature to chuckle at that.
PPA.
I do enjoy though that the 2 leagues were able to not fight each other to the death over who had the top talents, and
That's
instead
cool. Hopefully.
made it into
Yeah.
one entity, because that would have been, that would have, it would have reminded me of probably the same thing as like the USFL back in the day and the NFL, where they would have been fine competing, but then people get involved and demand that the other is better and that they keep fighting about that. And instead of just joining in as one force and having unity, that's better than, someone coming in and being like, no, I demand the smaller league be bigger and the bigger league be smaller and everyone be on my side. It's just nice that they all kind of teamed up there. That's cool.
And
Yeah, I think they just said, hey, for the good of the game, if we just band together now, we're going to get a lot further quicker.
Yeah, that's
doing
great.
that. So
I like that.
Pickleball.
Coming together.
Major League Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Great. I'm glad we did this.
Oh,
We
yeah.
put a pin in it so many times.
There's been too many pickleball.
Pins. I think
too
we're
many
gonna have
pickleball
to
pins. So I'm happy that we were able to get the.
we get all the pins out.
Get all the pins
get
out?
all the pins and needles out of there.
Pull the pins.
And pull the pins.
You guys, you're going to be next. You're going to be part of the 4 million players in the U.S. playing
I believe
pickleball.
it.
What's going to happen?
I'm excited.
The son of my mother's sister. So weird.
Hey, free lessons when I come up. We'll go to the pickle barn. I'll take you
Yeah.
and I'll turn you into.
And you're going to introduce me to all the people that you know, and then your cousin is going to, I used to be pretty athletic, right? Like in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were fast.
I was very fast, and I bet that helps with pickleball, and I haven't been fast
yeah.
since. I mean, what I'm trying to say is once you get that pickleball racket in old Fuzzy's hands, you never know what's going to happen.
Watch out.
I just
might
have
become-
to say though, you'll go through a phase where you go out there and you think, man, I am so much more athletic than these 50, 60-year-old women that are on the court with me. And I specifically remember Shelly and Shirley went out one of the first times thinking, I'm just going to smoke these old grannies. And they took it to me. Like
Oh, boy.
11-1, 11-2. And you're just scratching your head going, how did Shelly and Shirley just mop the floor with me? But that's kind of the beauty of pickleball is it has rules and it's set up to be sort of an equalizer.
That's great.
And it's fun too because you can go play with your parents, you can play with your kids, and you can have fun competitive games right away.
Injuries don't happen a lot, right? Like other sports. Like you could,
Right. Yep.
That's a big one. That's a big
Lot
one
of
for me.
less
I don't like
injury
to
prone.
play sports because I don't want to get injured.
Yeah.
No CTE either.
Oh, that's really good. Any other questions for the pickleball, the people's pickleball?
I can't think of that's what I mostly had. I wanted to know about the leagues. That's what was important to me.
Okay.
The league, yep.
You did a good job explaining what pickleball is. So I mean, you kind of laid out how it works. So it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
So next up is
Oh, wait. How does this song go again? Oh, yeah.
This is the time of the day when I ask the Hess a question, and then they answer that question with an answer.
Yeah, we do.
And then they get a point if they got that answer correct. If they got the answer incorrect, they get no points. And they don't get any negative points or anything like that either. They just get no points. 0 points. 0 points. Zero is
Don't you
0
start.
points a point. That's the question that I always have, but we're not going to answer that right now.
Score 0-0.
Just
0-0-0.
0-0-0. Just yell out the answer. I'm just getting the questions ready here.
Here they come.
How many basketball players can be on the court at the same time?
12.
10.
5. What is the line judge in tennis called?
The umpire.
Correct.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding. Umpire. How many clubs can a golfer have in their bag?
12.
14.
14. What is the area of the field called where touchdowns are made?
End zone.
End
End zone.
End zone.
Did I get it?
Jamea's got that one. What is the highest level of car racing called?
C12.
NASCAR?
IndyCar.
Oh,
What sport is played on the ice and has a puck?
ice hockey.
Curling.
Hockey.
What do they call the thing in curling then?
Ooh, that's it's not a puck. Curling ball? I don't
It's a
know.
rock.
It's a rock. It is a
Yeah,
rock,
probably.
isn't it? Who won the PGA Rookie of the Year in 1996?
Tiger Woods.
Well, that was a tie. Tiger Woods.
Tiggery.
What do you call a score in? That doesn't make sense.
What do you call it?
What do you call the beginning of a game in the football or soccer? What's the
Period.
kickoff?
Oh, okay.
These questions are. I don't know about these questions.
I know.
How many periods are in
find
ice hockey?
3.
Correct. That was.
Oh, wait. How does this song go again? Oh, yeah. Memory.
And that was Fuzzy Memory Trivia. Scott got. How many points did you get? 3? James got
I think it's
3.
3-2-2.
3-2-2. 3. Does that sound right?
Yeah,
I
probably.
wasn't keeping track. I kind of forgot.
We did so many things.
Yeah,
throughout the
now
years.
that Fuzzy Memory Trivia is done, we are at the end of the episode. There's also there was something else that we didn't cover. Did we miss anything, guys? That we
No,
forgot?
we talked about Jefferson and
Oh.
his record.
You know what?
What?
Oh.
I have to tell. So I forgot to tell you about my invention, the hangover stopper invention.
Oh yeah,
Man, I almost forgot.
What do you got going on over there? You got inventions?
When I'm not playing pickleball, I'm a pharmacist, and I, I've kind of gone with the more natural side the last couple of years and help people get off their medications, and part of that includes like vitamin supplements. And
Sure.
I do these nutritional lab tests, and so I just am looking at all how the different organs function within the body and different vitamin supplements that support the different organs. And I'm sitting there one day thinking about a friend that she just tends to get a lot of hangovers, and as a joke, I put together a bundle of vitamins and supplements. It's a few different ones that I was like, man, if you did these together, theoretically, you'd take it and you wouldn't have a hangover the next day. So I put it together for her. And the next day I get a text like, hey, I need 100 more of those. it was amazing. She's like, we're all going on a wine brewery tour, and I want to give one to everybody.
Oh,
so
that's
everyone
awesome.
loads up with those. And then the next day, or the next week, whenever it was, I had some speaking engagement, and I'm doing that, and my phone starts buzzing in my pocket, and it's all these people that had gone on the brewery tour. Like, oh my gosh, I just had the most beer I've had since college, and I feel amazing today. What is in those things?
Oh, that's
And
great.
and so that became our bestseller, and so we branded it as the Feel Good Tomorrow packet.
Okay.
And we've got it in a bunch of local liquor stores and grocery chain down here.
You
and
invented
sell it
that.
online.
That's awesome.
And so, yep.
You guys have you have a website?
We've got, yes. So the company is called Dose, and the website is orderdose.com. Like kind of like overdose, but orderdose.com. And that packet is called the Feel Good Tomorrow packet. So we have it's a discount code, winter10 for 10% off.
We're not sponsored, by the way. We're not sponsored, but
we need to set up a sponsorship right now.
We do like to support.
Yeah, if you use code winter10, we'll make sure that it supports FuzzJockRadio.
That'd be great. That's great.
Yes.
Do you got the line on like some lion's mane?
Was that?
Oh yeah,
like lion's mane mushroom.
We've got some coffee. We got a couple different. They use that in one of the supplements. That's like an alternative to stimulants for ADHD, but they do that with a couple other things in a all natural ADHD kind of bundle.
We'll talk.
Orderdose.com, and that's what's that code?
Winter 10.
The code is
Winter
10 for 10% off. Yep.
Orderdose.com. Cool. That's awesome. I'm really happy that's something. Also, if I'm just going to throw this in there because I don't drink anymore. That if you find yourself going to Scott's website quite often, maybe you should talk to somebody as well.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is another good way of not getting hangovers is just not drinking.
Yeah.
Which I have found. And then if you're taking supplements to, not get hangovers,
every day,
you might want to think about stuff going on because your body is probably not too happy with you, like my body was not happy with myself. But that is your own choice.
Yeah.
But I do want to say that
encourage responsibility for sure.
Responsibility drinking, is always a good thing. And it's not easy to quit, but if I could quit, I believe a lot of people could too.
Yeah. It's funny. We talked to a number of people that had given up drinking after years of drinking about the packets, and they're like, "Oh, we wouldn't need that. We would just start drinking the next day."
The hair of the dog. That's what I would do. So
they're like, "That's for amateurs." So stay at the amateur stage. Have just a glass.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy that you were able to be part of our podcast tonight too. Because like I said, we've been talking about you, and we wanted to figure out what pickleball is, and I wanted to introduce you to some of my friends and some of the FuzzJockers because as my cousin, you've been a great family member as well. So.
Well, it was great to reconnect with you, Justin, and good to meet you guys. And thanks so much for having me on. And definitely, let's go when I come up to Minnesota. Let's do pickleball at the Pickle Barn. Or if you come down to Kansas City, we'll hit up Chicken and Pickle.
Yeah, that
get
sounds
some
great.
fried chicken and court time.
I'll come down with my mom and my sisters one of these days, or make it a family event or something. So who knows?
Oh, for sure.
If you're in town, hit me up. If I'm in town, I'll hit you up.
For sure.
We got anything else going on for this rest of this week? What's the haps?
You want to know the haps?
Yeah.
Well, like I said before, it's the holidays and bad weather and stuff, and I'm still just gonna try to stay low key and really, keep to myself the self-care route and chill
like the rabbit hole says. Take it easy. Taking it easy.
I gotta show those guys.
Yeah, The Rabbit Hole is a show on Fuzz Talk Radio on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. So if you have nothing to do on Thursday nights, make sure to tune in.
Big car talk vibes.
They're all about the taking it easy.
Yeah, I like those guys.
C-Dubs.
I've got 3 days on at work and then 4 days off, so I've got a good week ahead of me.
That sounds great. Scott, what do you got going on for the rest of your life?
I'm gonna do
until the next time we see you.
I got a pickleball match at 3:00 on Friday.
Of course you do.
And that is primary on my calendar.
Of course. Of course you do. And then Fuzzy? Thanks, C-Dubs. I forgot that this question was coming up.
Oh, well, you didn't. Come on.
Yeah, you know where you're going. I don't know. I'm going to probably do some fuzzy things and some fuzzy stuff and get ready for next week's episode. And other than that, we will see you in the future.
Peace.
FuzzJockRadio. You know what though, G? That goes all the way back for every single time we let you work. Throughout training camp, every week in practice, your teammates are always around you. They watch you hit those things in practice over and over, week after week. For that moment right there, game ball, Greg Joseph.
FuzzJockRadio.